don't be ashamed to feel your inner child. My mom passed away, so that's really, I think my childhood was all over the place, but I think my childhood really ended there. I had to take care of my mom.
Yeah. You have to say dink.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my bad. Dink.
Just same roof
Oh,
as them again.
stop.
I'm never gonna, we're never gonna be little girls like hanging out in our room at night ever again.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
Yeah, we bought coloring books yesterday, and I would show anyone who comes to my house my coloring book.
It's
and
a
how
fun
beautiful
coloring book.
my colors are.
Like, look at we got colored pencils.
Yeah,
too.
we got colored pencils, and we got the box with the sharpener built in.
That shit was sick. I was like,
the first thing Eric said when he saw it, he was like, "Ooh, you got the one with the sharpener? I never got that as a kid."
Welcome back to the Trauma Flavored Chapters. I'm Serenity, and this is a place where I share my past and present chapters with you completely unfiltered. There are no filters here, PayPal, and it is to create pure connection and healing. Today is actually a guest episode, and I'm so excited because we are talking about grieving our childhood, and we are going to give you ways to reconnect with your inner child at the end of this episode. I am so excited. I'm so excited. So let's just hop in. Hello, and welcome back to the Trauma Flavored Chapters. Today's a guest episode with my friend Cassie.
I'm back.
She's back. We thought about doing this episode last time we recorded together, and it's about grieving your childhood. So today we're just going to talk about our childhoods, and we have two different sides of the spectrum. We have
my side, where I felt like I had a very fulfilled childhood and still like to celebrate my inner child.
Yes. And then there's more. And then there's me. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like I got to experience my inner child in some ways, but I felt like I really had to grow up fast. And as an adult, I feel like I'm now really fully experiencing my inner child. So, yeah. So at the end of this episode,
yeah, so stick around because at the end of this episode, we are going to give you a list of ways to reclaim your inner child.
Yes. You don't have to suppress that part of you any longer. You deserve to fully experience your inner child once again. So we're going to give you insight into our childhood and how we grieved it. And Cassie's going to start.
Yeah, so if you watched our last episode together, then you'll get the more detailed version of my childhood.
There's a very deep detail.
I'm not going to give all that again today. So if you're
just going to give you like
a little bit more, all the
go
details,
back to
the locales, the names, the people,
all the people, the moms, the dads, the grandma, the grandpas, all of them.
And then maybe, and if you're not into sad things, maybe shut it off after that. But anyway,
if you're afraid of sad things, this is not the podcast for you.
Yeah, that also.
To be honest.
But just the sort of shortened down version. Grew up very happy family. Parents married since they were not since they were in high school. Oh my lord!
Right after high school,
they were high school sweethearts. They got married. Then they had me and my sister, and we were a cute little family of 4. Grandparents involved in our lives. Blah blah blah. Lots of fun summer activities we did with our grandparents, and then just had anything we could possibly want in the world. I always say I was a spoiled brat, but not a brat.
No, she's definitely not a brat. She's definitely not like an only child, like spoiled brat. Like I wouldn't be friends with her if it was the case. It's so funny because I keep thinking about our friendship and how I think a little bit before I met you, I was like, I don't think I could be like friends with an untraumatized person. And like my whole life, I've always like been like, oh, you have to be, to relate to someone, they have to have the same background as you or have those different things. And like through our friendship, I'm like, oh my God, she's so cool. She like has the comedy and like the personality of someone that is severely traumatized, but just doesn't have the trauma.
I have no trauma. I have no childhood trauma. I mean,
well, you have your trauma of your grandparents and stuff.
Well, that's
different.
Like adult trauma because that happened when I was an adult.
That's true, yeah.
But I guess the only thing I could think of that would be under the umbrella that could be traumatic is that my dad was in the military and went on multiple deployments, so he was gone for like
that's hard. That's hard in your family and your mom and everyone.
But I feel like if you're a military child, you kind of just
you're used to
your
that
life, and since you've never experienced anything from it, I mean, people experience real traumatic events in their childhood.
Yeah,
that really,
AKA me.
We'll get to that one.
We'll get to that. Yikes!
We're gonna need a warning on that.
We're gonna need a big, like, giant sign. Trauma.
But I feel like if you're a military child, you kind of get it. And some people can have a really bad experience with military childhood, and some people have kind of the generic experience, which I feel like I had. I never really struggled too much with it. It just felt normal. So and I think I was so young when those things happened that I didn't even realize the full weight of it, that he's going to the Middle East, in a war torn area, and doing that. And I don't think that
no, that doesn't. I don't think
for me.
Well, I think that's like no. Well, I think that's another perfect example of like your mom doing a good job, or you being able to like fully experience your childhood, because you're like, just your mom did a good job, because that's like your parents' job to make sure that you are not living in fear and like having that. So you got to like experience your full childhood, even though there was heavy stuff going on around you.
An appropriate shelteredness.
Appropriate, I think
not
an
umbrella mom.
No,
or like
no.
not umbrella, helicopter mom.
Same.
But still sheltered in that regard. But my childhood was very positive. We had a lot of fun. I have one older sister. She's 2 years older than me. We always got along as far as siblings go. I mean, siblings fight and are mean to each other, and we have stories to tell about that for sure. But me and my sister. But for the most part, we've been friends, best friends since forever, and we still like to laugh and mess around and have a good time. So it's just a really positive experience. I don't know.
Well, you got to like, what are like some of the things that like you enjoyed from your childhood, just so like they get a good grasp on it, so then we can know how you grieved it.
I was a big make-believe player. I loved playing make-believe, pretend. I loved to play pretend as a child. I have a very vivid imagination.
You do.
So,
she still does.
Her
dreams are very vivid.
Yeah, I have very weird. My mind can make up some weird things. But anyway, I just like to go either. I'd like to be in my room, or I like to go outside, and I'd like to play pretend. In my room, it was playing teacher, and outside it was playing prairie woman, and that's one of my two favorite things to do.
That's so fun.
My sister got to an age where she didn't really want to play with me anymore.
Yeah, that happens.
They get a little too cool for you, and so I did have a part like where I would play by myself. My mom said I've always been very good at playing by myself, considering I am a sibling, and you know,
you're not like suction cup to them.
I always had someone to play with, but if your sister does not want to play with you, you kind of have to go with what you want.
You kind of have to do your thing.
I also was into like Barbie dolls a lot more than she was, and things like that. That she didn't take interest in at some point. That she was a little too cool for school at that point. So I just learned how to play by myself. Yeah. I just loved playing make believe. Really,
you said I really just had a.
That was kind of the jam.
I had a hoot and a holler of time, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, we always went to like we'd go
to your grandparents,
our grandparents, and do all that. Play farm for the summer, basically, and then we'd go to the movie theater. There was this really cool bowling alley where we grew up in Texas that you could eat and play bowling. I mean, we'd go out and do all kinds of fun things. We weren't very much a trip family. We didn't really go on trips. We just would go to my grandparents' house or to see family. We never went to places as a family, not because we couldn't. I think my parents prioritized
more
their time off
and stuff
as
like that.
Going with going to see family.
Yeah,
with their time off of work versus going on like a family trip. But we'd go on like road trips and things like that. They were still fun.
Yeah.
No complaints there. But yeah, it was just very standard 4-person family, American family.
We love that.
Basic
bitch
stuff.
Family.
Basic family
basic
stuff.
fucking bitch family. That's crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
When I speak to people who have traumatic childhood, or maybe their parents were not married.
Aggressive.
We're not married and like the appropriate age to have children, or like single parenthood or anything. When I'm like, I can't relate.
But you're really good at listening, though.
You're
a good listener, and you're good at like connecting. Because I've never felt like unheard when I've like expressed some of the things in my childhood. But what are some ways that you feel like you've grieved? Because you've had like this. Because we dove deep in like the last episode of it, and we kind of like talked about how like when you lost your grandma and your grandparents, like how obviously that's a whole other grieving process. But I remember you said that you and your sister were kind of talking about like grieving your childhood.
The last episode was about losing my grandparents and how that kind of unlocked the kind of realization that childhood's over, and then dealing with the fact that you're never going to get to go back in time and have your childhood again. You only get one shot. It's one shot kind of deal. Which,
No 3 strikes.
Which is really important as a parent, that you realize that it's your first time on earth, but it's also your child's first time on earth. So find that balance as a parent.
Yeah.
Too. I think sometimes
Giving yourself,
people forget that, you're raising your child and you need to give them
a childhood.
Because that's their
and
only
let them
chance.
be a kid. Let them be a kid, because I feel like sometimes I see parents and it's like they're not letting them be kids, and it's like you only get one shot at parenthood, but you also get one shot of giving your child a good childhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a big thing.
I think that's what makes all the difference, because that's what you can control as a parent. And there's things out of your control too. But the loss of my grandparents opened up the kind of understanding that chapter's closed a little bit more solid, because they were such a big part of it.
Yeah.
And so it was like a very like chapter, like book closed, chapter closed moment. But then I just, if you're a chronically online person or on TikTok watching late at night, and then it hits you with a freaking nostalgia dump video, and you're just like, wow. And it's always and if you have siblings or like close siblings, it's always the ones where they're like, I'm never gonna live under the same roof as them again. I'm never gonna, we're never gonna be little girls like hanging out in our room at night ever again.
Oh, that makes me so sad. That makes me like grieve my because you think about like the time your sister, and you like hang out, the activities you do with your sister.
Yeah, we're never gonna like beach like kids in our rooms having fun ever again, or doing this. Like, we're never gonna live in the same house. I mean, I guess
playing stuffed animals.
There is still an opportunity that if me and my sister are really, really old and we choose to live with each other again, that's a possibility. But
you're like, that's so far away.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm never gonna live under the same roof as my sister again, as just sisters or just siblings. Like, she has a family, I have a family. Like, we're not just sisters.
Yeah. So do you feel like you're like grieving it by like just sitting with the fact, because like going on TikTok and stuff? We're not saying going on TikTok.
That unlocks it. That can trigger it, definitely.
But like, we're talking to other people.
Core.
Yeah, nostalgia core, and then kind of like sitting with it.
But I think when you talk about grieving your childhood, it's just when you finally come to a realization like that, not one, you can't get it back.
Yeah. And
two, like,
it's gone.
It's gone. All it is a memory, and then at that point, it's your responsibility.
I feel like that's
kind of alive, because you don't really have. I mean, other than, my mom is kind of a keeper of our childhood things. So we have our childhood toys, we have our childhood T-shirts, we have childhood class artwork that we did at school. So we have all this. We're very lucky to have a very non-traumatic childhood where I have all the things from my childhood that were important that I can
go back and look
at. Like, when I was just there, we went through my closet, and I went through a box, and I found all kinds of things. And I got to go through everything and like kind of relive it, or find things that we want to like bring up to show my niece. Like, we found our old Jessie doll, because we had seen Toy Story 5.
That's so cute.
We found our old Jessie doll, and so we got to bring it upstairs, and now she plays with it. So I have actual physical pieces of my childhood. But when you sit with those things, you're like, oh, well, I'm never gonna like be a child again, only worrying about like the worst problem is my friends
mom
didn't want to play with me at school.
My mom didn't pack me the right lunch.
But again, having a childhood where my mom thought, because she didn't have this experience as a child, like her parents did not keep her things from her childhood. She does not have things from her childhood very much. So she went into the mindset of our childhood of I'm gonna keep these things. I mean, we're talking, we have baby clothes, we have our baby toys.
Oh my god.
We have our classwork, like I said, from school, from all grades. We have T-shirts from when we were toddlers to all the way through high school. We have things from our extracurriculars. We have everything we could possibly want from our childhood.
Everything.
Of evidence, physical evidence of our childhood. My mom didn't have that from her childhood, so she wanted to make that a priority.
That's so sweet, though. It's like, oh, I didn't get this for my inner child or my childhood, so now I'm giving it to my kids. It's like so important.
Yeah, because she wanted to keep it, because she always says when we go through things, oh, my niece's name is Lizzie. Oh, Lizzie's might want that. Keep that.
Oh,
your kid might want that. Your kid's gonna think that's really cool. Keep that. Like T-shirts from concerts I've been to. Your kids are gonna think that's really cool vintage T-shirt. Keep it.
Oh,
Like,
that's
she's
so
already
sweet.
thinking now.
She's already
as we're adults now, thinking about our children
yeah.
and their childhood. So my mom's very
That's so like very good at keeping that
childhood
inner
memory
childhood alive.
keeper. She's always thinking one step ahead. That one.
That's like sweet though, and it's sweet to think about
Mhm.
that, to being able to like enjoy your childhood, but also as an adult to be able to like look back on it. And it's like when you said earlier about just like, oh, it's like the thought and like the nostalgia. It's like I feel like grieving your childhood is like realizing you're like, I'm in adulthood. You're like, I'm in adulthood and that doesn't come back. And it's like, but I think it gets kind of scary. It gets a little scary, but now
Yeah.
like remembering that you can still focus on your inner child and like bring that out as an adult. And yeah, should I?
Yeah. So, but just to wrap.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Up, but so if you have physical evidence of your childhood, it might be easier for you to grieve your childhood. If you don't,
Yes.
it might be a little bit harder. But grieving your childhood is not like being super sad that you're not a child anymore. It's more so coming to the realization that your childhood is over. But and we'll talk more about this after Serenity shares her portion. But there are still ways that you can celebrate your childhood, but also reclaim your inner child too. So we'll talk more about that later.
Taking that power back.
But if you're coming from my point of view of you had a very positive childhood, you have evidence of your childhood, you have support still from your childhood, your parents or your whatever else.
Yeah.
Then it might be a little bit easier. But when we start talking about Serenity, she might be having like a point of view of someone who might have a little bit of hard time, or might be doesn't want to talk about their childhood or
that's a great perspective.
So luckily we
have
bringing both ends.
I love like having both like there.
It could be really easy to talk about your childhood and it's very positive, and there's still negative things.
Yeah.
If you have a very negative experience, you may be someone who's never shared to anybody about your childhood. So
that's true. I feel like I'm sitting here and like listening to your like childhood and like thinking about it because we had that past episode, and it's just like I feel like sometimes when you have friends that have like a really hard childhood, or you have like family members or whoever it is, and it's like now like sitting here, it's like you can share that without like shame of like being like, oh well, they didn't get that, and it's like, but you can still like have so much joy around having a good like childhood just because like other people didn't get that. Like don't be ashamed of sharing that, because like I'm sitting here just like enjoying it and be like thinking back to like you selling watermelons and like doing all the things, or like spending time at your grandma's house, and it's like I think about just like those things of being like, don't be ashamed to share your childhood if it's a good childhood. Like you don't have to feel shame around that, and like, and if you have a bad childhood, like of course you don't have to like share that with everybody. But yeah, I definitely have like a little bit of a different perspective, and it's like so nice to get, I think this is like a perfect balanced episode to have, like for people coming in, it's not just about the trauma of it, it's about the goodness of it. And I didn't have like a horrible childhood, mind you. I think as an adult, I realized how fucked up it was. Like, I don't think I realized, like, I didn't know we were homeless when I was 10. Like, I didn't know that until I was, like, 13. And I was like, or no, was I 10? How old are you in third grade?
You're probably like 10, yeah. Because you're a little older.
Yeah, I think I was, like, in third grade or second grade, somewhere around there. And I was talking to my mom, and I'm like, you remember those sleepovers we used to have? And she's like, sleepovers? She's like, we were sleeping in a van, Serenity. And I was like, well, I had a great time. We lived in a camper for almost a year. Like I'm really bad with like time. So if any of my family's watching this, and like that was definitely like, oh,
that's not accurate.
That's not accurate. Liar. But yeah, it's just like remembering those things for me. Like I have 3 older brothers and a sister, and I was raised with my niece, and all of my brothers are my half siblings, and we all have different dads. And so my 2 brothers, Egypt and Gianni, we share the same mom, but we all have different dads. And then my brother Preston, and we have same dad, different mom. And then my oldest brother had a kid at 17, so my mom raised her until she was 10. So yeah, we had a very like mixed family. We're very like, I don't know, like, I never knew half siblings were a thing until I was in 3rd grade. Why is 3rd grade coming up so much?
That was the time she was enlightened on her life.
The
She
universe
was living in childhood bliss up until 3rd grade.
3rd grade punched me in the fucking face. I found out Santa wasn't real then.
Oh yeah.
I found out half siblings were a thing.
That's when she started grieving her childhood.
Yeah, I started grieving my childhood. Then I said Santa's not real, and then I lied to my mom for like a year about not like knowing that the tooth fairy wasn't real. I was like, I need to make that money. But yeah, we just had a very like we moved a lot. My biological dad couldn't like fund our lives very well. Not fund our lives. I shouldn't say it that way. He sucked. Let me just be honest. Yeah, we had to move so many times because he wasn't paying the bills, and he thought like my mom thought he was paying the rent, and like obviously I think she was like paying rent somehow. And like I remember growing up that we didn't have power a lot of times. I was scared of the dark, and I remember us like playing games in the dark, and like I remember, oh my god, power's out, let's get the lights. Like she tried to make it like a fun thing, and to me like I didn't think about that at all growing up until like as an adult. I was like, oh, he wasn't fucking paying the bills, that's why we had no water or no fucking electricity. Like and that wasn't my whole childhood. Definitely I was raised by my dad I call my dad. He's the guy that raised me, my stepdad, and he raised me since I was like 4 or 5. So everything before 4 or 5 was very like I don't remember chaotic, but it's like I remember being in the bank with my mom, and I saved all of my birthday money, and I remember like seeing the stress. And like I don't think as a kid like I was like, oh, we're in financial stress, but like I remember being like, oh, I'll give you my birthday money, mom. Like I remember being at the bank and like offering her that, and like a good mother, she was like, absolutely not, that's your money. And then 5 years later my dad stole all of my money. So yeah, so my like mom was such a good mom of being like keeping that inner child and trying to protect me and trying to protect my innocence and like making everything fun. And like it's just now as an adult I look back on like how heavy it was and like how much stress my biological dad was putting her through. And yeah, I just remember the financial stress now as an adult. But as I was a kid, I was like, this is fucking great. And then I got my sister, my stepsister, but she's my sister. I was raised with her since I was 4 or 5, and so that's my sister, and we obviously share no blood, but we look kind of related. It's funny because like the dad that steps up, you end up like looking like him.
Yeah.
I look so much like him. It's so weird. But yeah, just like thinking about those things and like, but I remember the good things. I got to like ride horses my whole life growing up. Me and my sister, like, I remember when we were like living in the campers, we lived on this like giant property, and they had these like giant like mud, what do you call it? Like, not caves, but like trenches. And like we would hop inside of them and we'd like collect salamanders. And I had a tank inside our house, and I would put like toads in it, and I would put salamanders, and I put like, what are those little frogs? Like I just collect, and I would make little terrariums. And I remember my sister and I would just like we would go horseback riding, but like no saddles. We just take the horses and we take them as far out into the forest that we could, and then we just turn them around and hold on, and they'd race back to the other horses, and we just like hold on. And so there's like a lot of fun things about that. My brothers are 13 years older than I am. My other brothers are like 9 and 10 years older than me. So like I had a childhood with them, but they were already like out of the house by the time I could like kind of have a relationship with them. But I remember having a good time with them beating me up and me being an asshole. So and then yeah, my sister, I was so happy to get a sister, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna play Barbie dolls. And she like was the tomboy of absolutely not. And like we would beat the shit out of each other with wooden swords in the yard. My mom was like, quit breaking furniture, take it outside. And we would just like go brawl in the yard. And like I remember just taking care of the animals. And if it's your first time here, I grew up in a zoo, so that's why I'm talking so much about animals. And so it was like a really good part of my childhood. I remember I had like a blind pony named Buttons that I would go like she was so cute. I would just take her out and we'd like wander around together. I had a pony that my mom got me when I was 1. Her name was Tootsie, like a Tootsie Roll, because that was my favorite candy when I was little. And yeah, just riding her around. I didn't watch a lot of TV, so like some of my favorite things were just like riding horses, playing with the dogs, like oh my god, I would play horse outside. I would act like a horse. I'd run with the horses. I'd jump in the water troughs. I would just do all those different things. And I was just a very like outside kid, so I really enjoyed like being with my sister and doing those things. We would like make believe too. I would take when we would do laundry, I'd take my mom's bras and I'd put them on, and then I'd stuff them, and then I'd stuff them with socks, and then I'd put on like my dad's pants or something, or just like I would just put everything together and be like, how sexy do I look? Like, and we would,
I'm so hot.
I'm so hot, and we just loved like playing like dress up. We were like in middle school, and I was still playing like dress up and being weird and just and then my mom passed away. So yeah, my mom passed away, so that's really I think my childhood was all over the place, but I think my childhood really ended there. I had to take care of my mom.
Yeah, I'd say from an outside perspective of everything you've described through our friendship about your childhood, I swear like that is where it like it's no longer childhood fun anymore. Everything after that is like I'm like, huh?
I saw them when I was
how old were you when you did that?
13.
What?
13.
I'm like taken aback when she tells stories, and she's like, because she's young right now, and so when she tells the story, I'm like, when did this happen to you? I'm 16. I'm like,
I'm 16.
That was a different experience.
I had to grow up fast, and like, but even I do have to say, I don't think I've really talked about this in other. Well, maybe I have. I think I probably did on my mom's episode. I thought it was like a 2-hour long episode, and I have no idea what I talked about. But I just kind of remember my mom. I remember kind of like being a teenager and like looking back, and like obviously I was still technically it would be in my childhood, but I remember being like 16 and looking back and being like, I remember feeling like this most of the time I was growing up. I never really got to be a kid. Like my mom like put me in sports. My mom did I'm not shitting on her by any means, and I'm not shitting on my dad that raised me at all. We were struggling, and they had to make fucking bills meet. We had to feed our animals. We had to get our shit done. And like I was talking to my dad about this recently of like, oh, like I learned how to like make money, and I learned how to do all these things because of you. Like you gave me such good skills. And he goes, I didn't give you skills, I gave you survival. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. I was like, he goes, we were surviving. That's what I gave you. He's like, I didn't teach you shit, you survived. Like, and I was like, wow. Well, I think you learn by example, but it's like, yeah, I just look back and I'm like, my mom, I think, had me start doing my laundry at like 8 or something, 8 or 9. She was like, you want clothes? Wash them. Yeah. You want dishes? Wash them. Like, you don't get to open up your presents or eat Thanksgiving food until you feed the animals. Like, you have responsibilities. You don't get to just think about yourself. So, like, I had more of that. And I know other people's childhoods, I'm thinking just about, like, if someone's listening, it's like you're not relating too much. It's like, I know there's, like, the deep, dark depths of childhood. I've experienced that to an extent, but I know there is, like, parental abuse. There's, like, neglect. There's, like, starving your child. There's a lot of those. And like I never went hungry. My mom was a good fucking mom, and she was like, I'm gonna fucking make sure my kids are eating and stuff like that. But I remember just being a teenager and like struggling with those things, and like not always having food, and like living over here. And yeah, definitely there's a lot of stories that I could go into of just having to survive on my own. And I think I started grieving my childhood. I didn't really, like, I think it was probably when I was grieving my mom, which was, like, fucking years later. But, yeah, my childhood pretty much ended when I was 13. So, I think I grieved it once I realized, I think I was talking to my sister, and, like, we grew up on this, like, farmhouse area, and that got demolished and turned into a neighborhood. And I think that's when I really realized my childhood is, like, over is because we can never go back to that farm. That's where the longest place I've ever lived in my life has been. I've never lived in a house longer than 4 years. Still to this day, I've always moved houses. And I think I just really grieved that when that got demolished. And like my sister and I will talk about it, and it's like, oh, I wish we could go back to like before mom, like before she was sick, like before that. And like I think that's how having the realization was when I started grieving it. And I think I also started grieving it more when I started learning more about my inner child and how to reconnect with it. So we're going to kind of slide on over here to our part two of ways to reconnect with your inner child. So we talked about the happy and sad things of just like, yeah, you lose your childhood. If you're I hope you're an adult listening to this. if you were maybe a me, I started listening to podcasts and crazy shit when I was like probably 15. So I started listening to like crazy murder shit and everything like that. My childhood was ripped away. So I was like, it's fine to listen about murder and like learn about these things. Like, be scared. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, just like learning how to reconnect. I believe there is three. This is my belief. I believe there's three different parts of you. I know there's internal family systems, and there's like you have all of your parts that like protect you. You have your firefighter. You have all that. I'm not certified in internal family systems, but I believe you have like three big core parts of you. Your inner child, your present you, and your higher self. And I think it's really, really important to reconnect with your inner child because there's so much wisdom and words of affirmation, and just if you just take time to like sit down and listen to your inner child, you will know what you need from the day, from your life. Like I was putting so much pressure on myself of just like with my birthday and just all these different things, and I sat down the other day and my inner child was like, where have you been?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and when I say visit your inner child, like internally, like taking time to sit down and like think of like little you. Like close your eyes right now. We're gonna close our eyes really quick. Close your eyes. So close your eyes. If you're listening, close your eyes. And think about just an age. I always think about me when I was like 5. I think of just like if you have a picture of yourself, or you can just like remember what you looked like. I was this cute little blonde girl with little straight bangs. I was so cute, big blue eyes, and I just sit with her and I'm like, what you? And she usually always runs up to me and she's like, oh my god, where have you been? Where have you been? So are you imagining your little self? So how old are you?
Probably at like 4 or 5. I feel
4 or
like that's
5.
when you're still like you're conscious, but you're not
Traumatized.
fully aware of like social societal norms
Yeah.
to the maximum level where you're like embarrassed about everything.
No, you're still like picking your nose, twirling your hair, and freaking rolling in the dirt.
Yeah.
Like, and so I just let her come up to me, and it's like sitting there. You can consider this as meditating, but just sitting there and just like you can ask her question, her or him, or whoever, asking you like, "What do you need?" And usually they'll say whatever you need. You just have to be silent. And usually my inner child would be like, "We want to play. We want to feel joy. We want to roll around in the dirt." So I'm like, okay, what do I need? And I follow those instincts on like, and your brain, it's gonna tell you right away. You don't have to think too hard. You just have to be quiet for a second and just like. So if you're doing this with us, give yourself we're gonna do a quick 5 seconds of like asking, what do you need? Okay, what'd she say? What'd she say? What did yours say? What does your little girl say? I sprung this on you
like
too.
Just I keep thinking of like those paint your own pottery places. Or like just doing something that's just for fun and not for.
She said, I want to paint.
Like, yeah, just something like artistic.
She said, I want to do art.
Create.
She said, I want to create. I want to
paint. But not for anything
important,
just for fun.
Just for fun. Just to fun. And mine always, I checked in with her not too long ago because I was feeling so much pressure. And she was like, follow the joy. Because whatever you're doing in your life, like follow the joy because you're putting so much pressure on yourself. Just follow the joy. I'm like, okay, what do I enjoy? And it's like, I like to just like play with my friends. So we got coloring books yesterday. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. So sit with your inner child. Imagine what age you want to be. We chose 4 or 5, and then ask your inner child, what do you need? And then just pick your inner child. I like to always pick her up. I always pick her up and I hug her and I just squeeze her. Like if you have like a little niece or nephew or cousin or whatever, you know, and you just like pick a little kid up and you just give them the biggest hug. You're going to do this right for yourself right now. So as our eyes are closed, you're going to say thank you so much. And you're going to pick your inner child up and you're going to give her a big hug. And be like, thank you. I promise I will not abandon you again. We will check in soon. You will always be with me and I will always be with you. And give a hug. You can put her back down. And I always like to hold her hand, and I always just imagine us like walking away. And then we can open our eyes. How'd that feel?
I feel relaxed.
Does that feel nice?
Yeah.
It's like reconnecting with your inner child. It's good to like physically like sit down and connect with them. It's important to say, hey, because sometimes we abandon them for a really long time. And honestly, I do this sometimes, and I'll just sit and cry. And be like, I'm so sorry I left you. Like, you've just, like, sometimes I just find her in, like, a little dark corner being like, where did you go? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm right here. So we are now into part 2. That was the start of part 2. So now we have a list of ways to connect with your inner child. And we also did not explain why we have our wands right now.
Oh, because we're
we're
reclaiming our inner child as we speak.
As we speak, we have our little wands. Also, we've never had tea on set. We have our little tea.
We're gonna drink some tea.
Party. We're having a tea party, and we have our little wands, and so we're reclaiming. We started that with the start of the episode.
That simple.
That simple of having tea time. So I want to pour
making little fun.
I want to pour a little bit of tea. Yay! If you are seeing us, we're pouring tea. If you're like, why are they silent? We're pouring. We're pouring tea. Hold on, I'm putting my little thing down. Ooh. Oh, do you hear that?
ASMR. Hopefully that picked that up. One more time. Ooh.
Delicious. Yours.
Okay, and when you have a tea party, pinky up.
Oh, I don't know if I can do pinky up.
If you
can't,
mine's so
because
it's heavy, then it's fine. But you have to do a dink.
Oh, listen.
Dink.
Oh, that was not a...
You have to say dink.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my bad. Dink.
I just taught my niece that.
Dink. Oh, well, I just got taught that.
And she goes, yummy.
Yummy.
And that's just one way.
That is one way. Having tea time with your bestie. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I love this tea. It's so good. People are like, what the fuck? Anyway, so first we're starting out. Our number one thing on our list is don't be ashamed to feel your inner child. Mm-hmm. So feeling shame could be, like, I had an example that I was thinking about. Is like I went to a river with Lo. If you don't know who Lo is my other bestie. We went to a river yesterday, and I like dunked my head under the water, and I had this like little hair sticking up, and she's like, oh my god, you look like alfalfa. And I was like, oh my god. And for some reason I just felt like giggling, and I mean like full on giggling, and instead of like being embarrassed and being like, oh, like, gonna be an adult, don't you giggle, no giggling here. No, I was just like, I started just giggling, and she commented too. She's like, oh my god, you sound like a little kid. And I just started giggling even more. And it's just like not feeling that shame to be like, I want to say like cringe, being like showing your true inner child of like being weird or like giggling, or what other examples you might have.
Well, if you have like an interest that is, people often will claim is only for children or childish, and you might be afraid to like share that with somebody. Like if you like to build, like a controversial one is like building Legos.
Oh my
people
god,
hate when people build Legos.
We love Legos.
Legos are for children, yes, but they're also for adults.
They're so freaking fun. Honestly, that was like a big step.
It's a fun activity. It's actually a very grounding activity.
It is,
and there's no shame in that. But I feel like some people try to hide their things they like to do that are, per societal norm, childish.
Yeah.
But as long as you're not doing anything that's immature, there's a difference between childish and immature.
That's a good
point. In my book, like there's a difference between your inner child and being immature in your life as an adult. Obviously, you got to find the balance. The balance there. But I think there's just ways you find your inner child that you should be willing to share with people, or not willing, but unashamed to share with people.
There you go. Yeah, unashamed.
So, we bought coloring books yesterday, and I would show anyone who comes to my house my coloring book.
It's
and
a
how
fun
beautiful
coloring
my colors are.
Like, look at, we got colored pencils.
Yeah,
too.
We got colored pencils, and we got the box with the sharpener built in.
That shit was sick. I was
like, the first thing Eric said when he saw it, he was like, "Ooh, you got the one with the sharpener? I never got that as a kid." Like, people can relate.
Yeah, letting your inner
the sharpener box. Oh,
that's I never got that.
I could buy that now as an adult and if you wanted that as I told Eric, I was like, well, I had the crayons that had the sharpener. So
I never had the sharpener.
You can, maybe your parent wouldn't buy you something as a kid because maybe you're in a financial situation, or your parent just didn't think it was worth it, whatever. But now, if you have the privilege as an adult to buy the things, that brings out your inner child. Like,
yes,
you got the one with the sharp. He said it like a little kid in third grade.
Oh my god,
you got the Crayola box with the
instead
sharpener.
Instead of feeling like, oh, like having to hold it in and being like, oh, cool, you got your coloring book.
He didn't go, you guys got a coloring book today?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry if you're in like a relationship or something, or a friendship, and you tell someone about your coloring book. If you get a coloring book and you're like looking, they're like, ew, why did you get a coloring book? I don't like you.
people who shame, and I guess another great example is people say like Disney adults, like people who go to Disneyland or Disney World
Mhm.
or consume a lot of and then there are extremes,
Okay,
obviously.
I was gonna say
There
there's
are
extremes that definitely
extremes.
creep me out a little bit,
There are
but
extremes to things like that, like being a Disney adult or being super into a certain fandom or to
Yeah.
a certain thing that again
We're
is
not talking about-
historically
yeah.
child for children.
but we're not talking about the extreme.
But if it brings you joy to go to Disneyland and
Fucking go.
ride a roller coaster and eat a churro, who cares?
Who
Like, and if
cares?
someone's coming at you about it, they're probably just jealous because they want to eat a churro and have fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Honestly,
true. Yeah.
Disneyland is probably one of the few places in this world where I go and I feel 100% chill
You're
and
like,
not
I'm
have to worry about
chilling.
a single thing.
Yeah.
Because you're
And not
it's
being
in, you're
ashamed
in a
of that.
magical land and
Yeah.
you're eating a churro and
What's
you're
wrong
riding a
with that?
roller coaster.
What?
You can
what
ride a
could-
merry-go-round at Disneyland as an adult,
That's fucking sick. And eat a churro.
and no one looks at you weird.
I
Because
love that.
You can
Because-
ride the merry-go-round.
Because you can not be ashamed of that and just
Yeah.
fully experience that and like finding things to do along those things. I think that's our next one. But yeah, just starting out is just not being ashamed of that.
Yeah,
don't
not
think
finding
that
shame.
don't think it's cringe. Don't think it's not okay to go get a coloring book or to go or like don't feel like bad about sharing it with your friends or your partner or your family of like, look what I did. Like let your just inner child joy shine. Like a big example is like Lo is like wild and big and just like giggly, and it's like there's no shame around that whatsoever.
Mhm.
So our next thing is look back, and if you see us looking over there, we just have a list on the
Yeah,
other side.
we
keep
need to remember our
we need
list.
to like ADD queens over here. We need to have a list. We need to
Yeah, the next one is just looking back at your childhood and asking yourself what activities or things or stuff brought you joy and helped bring out,
yes.
bring light to your childhood.
And then
So-
we had examples, and she thought they
Mhm.
were funny. So,
Yeah.
such as playing with a dog,
Playing with a dog.
hanging out with your friends, sports, make believe, playing
Mhm.
outside. So yeah, I said playing with a dog, so I just love playing. Like if that brings you joy and you don't have a dog, go get a dog. Like go get a dog.
Well, maybe think that life decision.
Hey,
before you just go and get a-
think it through.
Here's an alternative. We have a really good humane society here, but if you have one,
Oh yeah, that's a great
close to you,
alternative.
just go and hang out with them for the
yeah,
day.
that's true.
You're not
I'm
really
sorry.
taking that responsibility.
I'm a little extreme with animals. I was like, go get a fucking dog.
It's like, don't even think about it. Go get a dog.
Go get a dog. No, well, go volunteer at the Humane Society. I know there's like cat cafes that are connected to
Mhm.
the Humane Society. Go if you have a friend that has a farm, or if there's like farms you can go volunteer at. Like go do that. Or if you like, for an example, like if you as a kid loved playing in like dirt and like literally rolling in dirt, go volunteer at a community garden. Like get your hands
Mhm.
dirty. Go plant some carrots. Like,
Or when you go to the beach, if you have a beach near you, build it a sandcastle.
build a sandcastle.
Why are we so against sand as adults?
I don't know.
We're like, we have to sit on our towel. We only go and swim, and then we sit back on our towel.
Yeah.
And we don't want to build. I love to sit down in the sand and
Oh
build.
my
My
god.
favorite thing is to sit near the shore with somebody else.
Yeah.
And you each build a sandcastle, and then you have to defend it from the waves. And whoever stands the longest wins.
We
I
should-
love playing
We should
that
do
game.
that. We should
I
do that.
love that.
That's
and you put a
so
little
fun.
leaf on top as your flag,
And
and,
we
you
also
build a
went
moat.
snorkeling too. We did we played
Oh.
mermaids, playing mermaids together.
Yeah,
And you
some
don't have to have a
goggles.
friend to do this with too. You fucking build the sandcastle.
Yeah.
If someone says you're weird, they're jealous. Okay.
Yeah,
They're jealous.
whatever.
Yeah,
You're at the
who ca-
beach.
You're at the beach. You can build a fucking sandcastle. Go get some goggles if there's a lake
Mhm.
by you that's like safe, obviously.
Yeah, splish and splash.
Splash, like get
Have
some
fun.
snorkel like gear or whatever and go play. Like literally I love like going swimming and like rolling around.
Yeah.
My other thing is like I love sitting on the edge of the beach and letting the waves hit me and like drag me up.
Yes,
Like,
the
just-
best sitting on the edge of the beach is a lost art.
It is. It really is.
Adults
But if you
have
don't
a
have
real
a
problem with that. I don't know what
I
that is.
know.
Kids just love
if
to
you
sit
go on
there.
like vacation, like go fucking sit at the
Yeah.
edge of the beach or whatever you can do. The other thing is like I love playing outside. If you have a yard, go sit in your yard. Literally, go take a book, go take a coloring book and sit in your yard. Like let your inner child play. Or like sometimes I love just like running around my yard. Oh my god, I got a I got a little excited. I got a trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my favorite thing to do now. I like to bounce in the morning, and I got a little bubble machine, and I turn the bubbles on, and I bounce on my trampoline, and I watch the bubbles.
See?
It's
It's that easy.
brings me so much fucking joy. It is the best thing ever. So like those are just like some examples of ways for you to connect with your inner
Mhm.
child again. Just look
Yeah.
back in your childhood. Even if you had a really, really hard childhood, if there was just one thing that you enjoyed, maybe if it wasn't at home and you didn't have a good home life, what did you enjoy at school? Did you enjoy going to recess? Did you enjoy like art class? Did you enjoy sports? If you enjoyed sports, maybe finding like I loved running in high school, maybe finding like a running club, or if you
Mhm.
like basketball, maybe go to like a basketball court and find people to play with. Like
Yeah.
doing those things are just really important because we don't want to ignore our inner child any
Yeah.
longer.
Another thing I thought of, and that we've been doing a lot more recently, is making foods from your childhood or things that are usually for children. So like the
Yes.
other night for dinner we had Kraft mac and cheese
Oh hell yeah.
with hot dogs, like cut up hot dogs.
Oh my god, my mom made that for
Yeah.
me.
And I was like, it was delicious and not a nutritious meal.
No, but it was just to heal your
it's
inner
just
child.
fun to eat mac and cheese and hot dogs, and or getting chocolate milk from the store or strawberry milk.
Oh my gosh.
gosh.
Nesquik?
Yeah, like those kind of things.
Oh my
Like getting
God.
chocolate syrup and making your own chocolate milk at home. Things like that. That's another way to unlock your
Or like
child.
getting ice cream. I love like getting ice cream and just having like a little ice cream night. Like watching. I like to do this because I loved princess movies growing up. I like to watch the princess, and I haven't fully done this yet, but I started it. Doing like watching the princess movies. The time they were released. So I loved like Cinderella. Like what movies did you love watching as a kid? Because I loved Cinderella. I loved is it Emperor's New Groove?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie. So like Shrek, like rewatching, like
Yeah.
get your like favorite childhood snack and like watch your favorite movie.
Watch a kid movie because kid
Oh.
movies are the funnest movies you're ever gonna watch.
And they're like funny too.
And there's a lot of them that are funny. That
Yes.
and Shrek is a great example of a movie that was made for both children and adults to enjoy. Because as a child, you're like, "Oh, this movie is really funny. I really
Yeah.
like Shrek." And then as an adult, it's even funnier because you understand the
Yes.
innuendos and the jokes.
I was just gonna say
And
that.
I think Shrek is a great example of that. And there's other movies, and I'm having a hard time remembering them. But if you can find those movies where, as an adult, you can unlock, it's like unlocking.
It's like
hidden
unlocking
chapters of a
yes.
movie. Because you don't, or Elf. Elf is a great example of a movie that's really funny for kids, but as an adult, you understand a lot more of the jokes. And Grinch, how the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
I love watching
that
Grinch.
one. I swear is 10 times funnier as an adult. Than it
Oh
was
my
as a
god! I'm
child.
thinking of like Cat in the Hat. You said
Yeah.
it was ugly when she bought it.
Like, and you don't. You're like, haha, that's funny as a kid, but now as an adult, you're like, oh my god, he's roasting the mom about her. It's so funny, and a lot of movies are like that. Disney movies, they're fine. They're made for kids and usually have kid level stuff in them, but they're still really good and good music, and most people have watched those as a kid. But there are so many movies that when they were made for both children and adults to enjoy, but on a different level that you can't unlock until you're an adult and have an understanding of life. Because Shrek, I mean, this is your assignment: is to go watch
your homework.
Shrek and see how hilarious that is as an adult. Yep. All the jokes that you did not get.
And your other homework is get your kid like childhood favorite snack.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yourself a snack.
Get your snack and a
little drinky drink like chocolate milk or apple
Nesquik.
juice.
Nesquik.
Why do we as an adult not drink apple juice?
I do.
Well, I never buy that at the store, but I swear toddlers chug apple juice like it's their job.
Oh my god, I love getting like a bottle of orange juice too.
Ooh, yeah,
I'm
like,
just
juice is a lost art on adults too. A lot of the time,
it's so
get
good.
yourself a little drink, a little snack. Sit and watch a movie that you watched in your childhood, and you'll probably realize either two things are gonna happen: you still love it, or you realize how stupid it was. You're like, still
like
impressed with it,
but it still gives you like that nostalgia like hit too. And
yeah, you might watch like the Barbie movies are a great example. Like when me and my sister were young, we loved watching the Barbie movies. They're all on YouTube apparently for free now, so enjoy that. But they are not great movies. But as a kid, you're just like, oh my gosh, I love these movies. But then you watch them as an adult, you can kind of roast them a little bit, and it's fun. But you still get to have fun because it's low stakes movie, and you're just having a good time. Sing the songs, enjoy. It's great.
Have a great old freaking time. Yeah. So that is your homework: is look back into your childhood and find the activities that you enjoyed, and then after that, find a way to incorporate those moments into your daily routine, further unlocking your inner child.
Mhm.
So take the time to look back into your childhood, find those activities, and then your homework is to incorporate them. So step
Mhm.
1, you do not need to be ashamed to feel your inner child.
Yeah,
Step
stomp
2,
out the shame.
stomp that shit out. So no more of that. We're not being ashamed. Be cringe, be weird, have fun. Don't care about what other people are feeling. And
Mhm.
like I know, or not what they're feeling, but just don't care that they're
The
like
judgment.
the judgment. Don't care about their judgment. And
Mhm.
then find the activities when you were a kid, a movie, playing in the yard, going to the beach and doing a sandcastle, going to like whatever it is, find those activities, and then step 3 is incorporating them. So
Mhm.
that is your list for today. And we actually, before we leave, we're not leaving just yet. We have a new section for our episodes, and it's called Community Chapters. And it is a place for you to write in because your chapter needs to be heard. And I bet you it's going to help somebody else, and someone else needs to hear it. So I'm wanting to connect with you guys more. I'm struggling if you can't tell. I want to connect with you guys more. So please write in your chapter. It can be a highlight, it can be a low light, it can be whatever you want it to be. It could be fun. Send me oh my gosh, here's your other homework. Send me a story about your inner child. And
We'd love to hear it.
I want to hear it so bad. I want to hear a story about your inner child, and it does not have to be great. It could be traumatizing. I want to hear the trauma. I want to hear the good. I want to hear the bad. I want to hear it all. So this is an opportunity for you. Your other homework is no pressure, but pressure.
Well, where do they write in?
Oh, write in. So I will put my email down below, and you can also what?
DM.
DM, not
Hit those
D
direct
email.
messages.
Hit those direct messages. You can DM me on Instagram as well, but I'll put in my email down below, and you can do it anonymously.
Yeah.
So you do not have to put your name in
Mhm.
there. So to start the flow of this, I actually have a what do you call it? Reddit. There we go.
Mhm.
My ADD is kicking it so hard. I have a Reddit story. It was public, and so it is anonymous. So I'm reading it. So just to kick this section off for you, I'm going to read a. Actually, I might have you read it.
Do you want me to read it?
I want you to read it
I can
because
read.
if you guys can't hear, I'm already struggling. So I think it would be fun for her to read it. You can go, and we're gonna look over here. We can do this. Oh, there we go. Right there, community clip.
Perfect.
So we're gonna read it,
Let me read
and
this.
kind of a heads up, it is. Welcome to the trauma flavor chapters. No, I'm just kidding. It is trauma. So yeah, just to give you like a little heads up, if you're like, okay, I can't handle it. I just really loved the fun inner child ending, then you can end here. But
Mhm.
please stay tuned for this. And
Yeah.
so yeah, this is
And send in your story if you want it to be featured,
Yes.
anonymous or not.
Yes.
It's your choice.
I will shout your ass out. Don't you
You
worry.
can put like maybe a little thing that says, "Please make it anonymous," or
Yeah, put
okay with sharing first name.
Yes,
Totally
please
up to you.
put in like the very top, like before you go into your chapter, that you do or don't want your name there. Okay.
Or if you do or do not want it to be shared, because you may just want to share it with Serenity
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
and not want it to be shared on the pod.
That
That is
is-
also an
that's very
open
crucial.
thing of communication.
Yes, so-
if you want to share it with her
Yes.
and have an open
If you want to have a
Discord
little
between the two of
dialogue,
you,
yes.
great.
Yeah. If
If
you
you
want
want it to be shared with everybody,
Yes.
let that be known too. 'Cause
That
we
is
don't
a
wanna
great
make
point.
anyone uncomfortable.
I do not want to like share your story out here, and you're like, I actually just wanted to send it to you. So if you just want to send it to me, you can just send it to me, or you can share it for here for community chapters.
Yes.
So hopping into
This is our community clip.
Dun,
Again,
dun,
it's from
dun.
Reddit. So I'm gonna just read it. We may stop here or there to comment. Anyway, this title is "I haven't told my family I'm dying." So that's pretty heavy.
Yes.
So let's get into it. So, I've always been very healthy, sort of accidentally. I don't really work out, but I do a lot of outdoor, blue collar type activities, and I grew up doing nature stuff with my dad. So it was really noticeable last year when I started feeling run down and having these sudden sharp headaches, trouble breathing, and just a really run down feeling. Then I started getting some numbness and twitching in my face, and my vision started doubling sometimes. And I started getting dizzy as I stood up too fast, and then if I stood up at all. It kept getting worse, so I finally took a day off and went to the doctor. Many tests later, I have a mass growing in my head that they can't do anything about. It'll be a couple months before I start showing symptoms I can't hide, and then after that, hamburger time.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he meant like Dunzos,
Oh, okay.
or I don't know if it's a he or a she, but
Yeah, Maybe he meant like
Yeah, I think he meant like hamburger.
the doctor told me, and you know what I did? I went home. I went to my wife and my 2 daughters and our son, who, I mean, one of them are none of them are teenagers yet. And my boy wanted to play basketball at the park, so we did. And my girls wanted to play Fortnite and braid my hair, so we did. And I just kept on. First, I didn't want to ruin their Christmas. Then, I didn't want to ruin New Year's. Then, I didn't want to ruin anybody's birthday. So, I just kept not ruining stuff so far. I should pause here to explain that my wife is a recovering alcoholic who is most of the way blind via genetic disease, and I take care of my dad, who's in the beginning to late stages of dementia, which is exacerbated by his drinking after my mother left him when they were 65, so she could join a traveling band of white supremacists. Okay. No,
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
I did not know. I forgot that part was in there. I did read this beforehand.
So he's got some trauma there,
Yes.
and he seems to be a pillar of his community,
Yes.
like his family community. So I guess that kind of makes sense
for him not
wanting to tell his family that he's having these issues.
Yeah.
Oh, even further into it, we have no other family. It's me taking direct care of a bunch of people who can't really fend for themselves.
Ooh, this is hard.
So what happens to them if or when I die? Care homes maybe? What about the kids? I have no idea. Right now, everyone lives in their own house, shits in their own private bathroom, and life is pretty normal in spite of everything. The second I reveal this, I torpedo the whole world. Just blow it up wide open and let the sea claim what and whom it will. I won't be able to stop it. So I'm sitting here in the 12th night of the 4th month since I found out, and I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do.
Posted under a burner name because I needed to say something
so
somewhere, I guess.
As a practice for the real McCoy, when I fuck up everyone's shit by dropping this massive life. Okay, but basically he wrote it anonymously because he didn't.
Yeah.
He wanted to get it out there.
He needed to vent that shit.
Yeah, he needed to vent. So this is kind of like, it's not a story of am I the asshole, but it's like the similar vibe of like, am I
I think
I wrong?
Yeah, he's like, am I
in the wrong for doing this?
am I in the wrong? He's kind of just like,
you could argue yes, you could argue
no.
I think I'm kind of in between.
I think I'm in between, but it's like, he has a lot of people he's caring for. There's like, he is like the pillar in his family's lives, and just, he is right, or he or she's gonna like right that when they disclose this information, it's gonna explode their whole entire world.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also think when something huge where I think if you get a terminal diagnosis for something,
yeah,
you're on a time crunch.
Yeah.
Yes. And the longer you wait, the less time you give people to put those things into place. So he's worried about what's going to happen to them when I'm gone. Where are they going to live? How are they going to take care of themselves? Well, by delaying this, you're giving them less time to figure that out.
You're giving them less of a chance to end up figuring out what they need to do. And obviously, like what he explained, it's like his wife is a recovered alcoholic. He's probably like terrified she's gonna relapse. Like he's probably terrified about his kids. He's terrified about, what was it, his dad?
Yeah, his dad.
His dad has dementia, and like, yeah, so there's just a lot of people that he is in charge of and making sure that they are surviving. But I feel like if I was in their shoes, I would definitely, like, it's been 4 months, like it is time. Sadly, like, you've had 4 months, you got to give your kids like a really good Christmas, you got to like give them that, and like I think that's important. Like sometimes if you do have time, it's like, okay, what's their last memory of Christmas gonna be like? And them not being teenagers, like, that's really hard because like I don't know how old they are, but
yeah, but I think maybe you can give a better insight on this because your mom received a terminal diagnosis when she had her cancer. imagine if she and your, because I
Yeah.
can't imagine she would have kept it from your dad,
No,
but
he knew to,
imagine
yeah.
if they kept that from you, and then suddenly one day your mom's in the hospital and she's dead. Like
No,
a
no,
week
no.
later.
You need
That
to,
would have been a
no.
lot worse than your mom what she did,
Yeah.
telling you that, and then you had all that time.
Yeah, no, you need to
before.
give, like, I understand. Well, I was just saying, like, I understand where, like,
Mhm.
they're coming
Yes,
from, of like
definitely.
wanting to give, like, your kids that, like, one last
Mhm.
Christmas. You don't want to ruin everything, and like, if you have a terminal diagnosis right now, it's like I completely understand, like, being in your shoes of being like, I don't want to ruin their
Mhm.
lives, but if you are in the position of like, I'm responsible for all these people and making sure their lives flow smoothly and they're taken care of, like, you need, first of all, you need to give your family time to grieve.
Yeah.
Like, you need to give them the time to grieve that, because if it's just like, I think about people that lose their parents to a heart attack or there's something sudden.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even understand that trauma, because my mom, it was a year, so I had a year to process, to prepare myself, like, this is gonna happen, and like, we had hope, but like, giving, and it's, if you have a terminal diagnosis too, you need to tell your family, because they need to wrap their heads around it, that there's nothing they can do. And if you have, like, I've heard people write in like this type of stuff too, for on other podcasts, of like, they're like, my husband's a doctor, and like, how do I hide this from him? And I'm like, you girl, he's a doctor, you cannot hide this from him. And it's like, it's not your job to take care of, especially in, I think, this position, like, to take care of someone's feelings in this way. Like, yes, you can care for your family, but what about you? So giving your family time to grieve is important. And then too, like, giving yourself and your family time to figure out what the fuck you're gonna do.
Yeah, because when somebody dies, I don't think, like, unless you're the person who's directly in charge of, like, everything after somebody dies, you don't realize how much stuff you have to do after somebody dies.
A lot.
Like the legal things,
The legal
you have
shit.
to do, like notifying so many different things that this person is deceased, like closing accounts.
Yep.
If there's a will, dealing with the will. If there's not a will, dealing with division of assets.
Yep.
Like all that stuff that has to happen. And especially if he is like the main pillar of his family, if he were to just drop dead tomorrow,
his
dad
has
had
dementia.
knowledge of it,
and
they had absolutely no time to prepare, when they do have that opportunity to
Yeah,
prepare.
they
Obviously life happens. Anyone could just drop dead tomorrow from a heart attack, whatever else. And that, you have to deal with that. But if you're aware that you have a terminal illness and you're choosing not to share that with anybody,
you're not giving that's not
anybody
beneficial.
the time to do
Process.
what's necessary.
It's not beneficial to you or your family. I know, like, they're trying to help their family, and not, like, you can't prolong grief. You can't you can't avoid it. It's gonna happen. So making sure you're taking the steps to, like, it's time to tell your family, first of all. Second of all, you got to get your affairs in order, like making sure, like, financially, like, they're gonna be okay. Like, I know that, I think there's like some sort of support systems that you can tell for, like, making sure your kids are taken care of after you're gone. Sorry, there's a feather, my bad. And then giving making sure, like, his dad has dementia, like, okay, you are gonna have to get, like, some sort of, like, care. If you can get him insurance, make sure he has insurance, so then maybe he can be in a home somewhere and that he's properly taken care of.
When someone has dementia, medical power of attorney.
Yes, there we go. Medical. Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah.
There's so many things nobody thinks. If when someone does not have the cognitive ability to make decisions for themselves, and then does not have anyone in their family who can make those decisions, who are you giving medical power of attorney over this person?
You need to make sure you know about that
them
too.
In a memory care home, so they can be
you don't want them to be taken advantage of. You want to make sure they're taken care of.
I'm the only person in their life who's taking care of them. This is what's happening with me. What do I have to do once I'm gone and he's continued living? What
needs to happen? Because
those things are important. You can't just live in a memory care unit without paying for it, and that's the unfortunate truth of the matter. So
you have to give yourself and your family the time, because it's been 4 months and we don't know how long they were.
4 months you could have got some of this stuff rolling.
And if you have, like, I don't know how many months, but it was terminal. It sounded really quick. So you got to give yourself and your family the time to grieve and to get your affairs in order. So that was our community chapter. I hope you guys loved it. I hope it helps in some way. And Now,
Yeah, we can't wait to hear yours.
I really want to hear
'Cause
yours.
the Reddit stories are fun, but obviously we don't know the person
Yeah.
or get to choose, something that's super relevant
Yeah.
or actually within our own community. So we're
I wanna-
excited to hear
Yes.
your guys' stories.
Yes.
So send them in.
Send them in. I want to connect with the Trauma Flavored Chapters community
Mhm.
because I'm so happy that this community is here and that you guys are listening. And I don't want this to be like a one-sided conversation. I don't want you guys to like tune in every week. That's why we have Flavor Club, and that's why now we have community chapters. So speaking of Flavor Club,
Flavor Cup.
it is Flavor Club. Flavor Club, Flavor Club. So it's Flavor Club, if you are new here, is comment section down below, or you can DM me on Instagram what your flavor is how you are feeling in flavor form. So what is your flavor?
Oh my gosh, I did not think about this.
We never do. It's always like on the
but
spot.
you know what? My flavor is going to be this week is going to be Kraft mac and cheese.
Hell yeah.
Because I ate
Kraft-
that this week, and
Yes.
and box mac and cheese is they're all different, but there's something about Kraft original mac and cheese.
It is. It's a
that
vibe.
just screams childhood.
It does.
And I ate it the other day with the hot dogs.
Ugh.
And I just like.
Are you
there's
just Kraft
nothing
mac and cheese, or are you Kraft mac and cheese with hot dogs?
No, today I'm just Kraft.
Oh,
mac and
okay.
cheese
I had to
because the
clarify.
hot dogs were good, but like I just want to start eating Kraft mac and cheese every once in a while, just for that
Oh, it's
nostalgia
so
hit.
good.
Because it's really yummy. I mean, it's not very good for you. Obviously,
No,
it's like
obvious.
bright orange cheese powder.
Yeah, no, who knows what's in there? We don't know.
But it was there's something about the noodle shape and the consistency and the flavor. The flavor.
See, growing up, my mom made the soupiest fucking mac and cheese, so I did not get that.
I don't know.
That's
man.
another
If you
trauma of mine.
follow
I'm just
the
kidding.
directions on the box.
No, she never strained the water out enough.
Oh.
It was just
Yeah,
soup.
you're supposed to fully strain the
Yeah, fully strain the water.
and not add too much milk.
No, she
the
was just
method.
water.
Add
and
milk
water
a little
and
at a
milk.
time until it meets consistency
No,
you
it's
want it
just
to be.
soupy as
But
fuck.
Kraft mac and cheese, the flavor is just
Nostalgia. Oh, that's like perfect childhood, like inner child. Ooh, I gotta think of
Yeah.
like my inner child. I want to do like an inner child one. Oh, I know mine, and I don't think you've had this. Do you know what shake and bake is?
oh yeah.
Okay, my flavor is shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
My
Yeah.
flavor is shake and bake because my mom would make pork chops with shake and bake,
Oh yum.
and
I
my
want that now.
and
We should
green
make-
bean
We should make shake and bake pork chops with mac and cheese
and green bean casserole.
and green bean casserole.
I don't know
oh
if
my
you like-
gosh, I've
my
never had
mom
green
made-
bean casserole. Not on Thanksgiving, but I will.
My mom made it all the time for dinner, so
I love
I'm
green bean
like,
casserole.
my mom made it, and I think that's like one of the things she was like good at making. We always like loved that for
Oh, so good.
Thanksgiving,
Maybe
but-
we need to have that for dinner one time.
shake and bake.
Maybe we can make a little video about it.
You guys want
Us
a video?
making
you
our
want-
nostalgia meal.
Do you guys want a video of us making our childhood meals?
Yeah,
And
we'll
then-
make shake and bake.
and then we can
pork
watch
chops.
a movie and we can do coloring books.
Yeah, Kraft mac and cheese. Ooh, a night of the inner child.
Ooh,
Mm.
fancy.
I
It's
can
like
see it
night,
now.
night of the Fair Maidens,
We're
but it's
making-
night of the Fair Maidens, but it's actually night of the
Yeah,
inner
we're
child.
making our nostalgic meal. We'll sit down and watch a movie. We'll color in our coloring books. We'll eat a yummy dessert that's
Oh,
child,
love.
like a push pop. Have you had a push pop in a while?
No,
So
I don't
freaking
have
good.
I had a push pop?
It's one of those pop
No, I know,
ice
I know,
creams
but
that you push. So
Oh,
good.
so good.
Things
Oh my
like
God.
that.
Okay, well,
Anyway,
now I'm just hungry. I'm just
yeah,
freaking
we
hungry
need to
now.
go eat lunch.
But so you know your homework for your inner child. I want you to message me that as well. So we have a lot of homework this week. We never do this much homework, but your homework is connecting with your inner child. Text me, DM me. You can text me. I don't care. Text me your inner child activities that you found or your movies, and then also DM me your flavor, or you can comment down below. You can also comment down below all of those things. I do look at the comments. I do respond to all of you guys.
Mhm.
And then also community chapters. Send in your community chapters. We want to connect with you.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. Thanks for joining me
Of
again.
course. I always love it.
It's so fun to have her here. We decided to have Cassie here on a random basis. So
Mhm.
you may see her soon.
Special character.
Special character reveal. But
Yeah.
we love you so much, and thank you for joining us this week, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.